Dry bridge originated on the site of the bridge over the Kora River, built in 1881 by architect Giovanni Scudieri. Initially, the bridge was called the Small Mikhailovsky Bridge as it was a continuation of the Big Mikhailovsky Bridge or Vorontsovsky after the Caucasian governor M.S. Vorontsov. At the beginning of the XX century it was called Nikolaevsky. Small Mikhailovsky Bridge led to Matatovsky Island. The island was originally the property of Princes Orbeliani, from whom in the middle of the 19th century this island on the river was bought by Prince, Lieutenant General of the Russian Army, hero of the War of 1812, Grigorievich Matatov. In Soviet times it was called the Small Karl Marx Bridge. In 1933, the river channel under the bridge was drained and a street was laid along the former riverbed, after which the bridge was called the Dry Bridge. The term flea market comes from the French market in the Paris suburb of Saint-Ouen, Marche aux Puces, which translates as flea market. Like the majority of flea markets in the world, the Tbilisi one emerged spontaneously in the 90s. A significant part of the population of the capital of independent Georgia was in real poverty. Electricity was given for a few hours, enterprises were closed, impoverished people began to sell everything they had en masse. It the flea market on the Dry Bridge. They sell all sorts of things. The sellers usually lay out their goods on the ground with a padded cloth or a blanket. Among the outright junk here, you can dig up a real treasure in the form of an expensive painting, an antique camera, etc. At the market you can find experts on paintings, cold weapons and other things. Connoisseurs of antiquities will find here musical instruments, retro cameras, cold weapons, knives, daggers, etc. Music notebooks including antique ones, household items, jugs, cups, teapots, various items made of copper, crystal. Prices for goods are very different. The cost of some things is considerably overpriced, but you can unexpectedly find the necessary goods at a low price. Also at the flea market you can give for sale any antiques, but you need to be careful, not every seller will give you the real price. Flea market hours are 9 o'clock am to 5 o'clock p.m. Vendors are out daily. On weekends, especially closer to 11 o'clock, there is usually more merchandise and you can count on the seller to give a little bit of a price concession to sell out faster. Getting to the bridge can be done by cab. It will be more expensive, but faster and easier. Closing parenthesis semicolon. By buses number 20, 23, 95 go here. By subway you can go to Rustaveli or Liberty Square station and walk to the bridge. But be careful, not every seller will give you the real price. The main mass of traders on the Dry Bridge are ordinary resellers, although sometimes you can still meet poor people who brought their things from home in the hope of earning something. A separate part of the market is made up of artists selling paintings of their own work. Many of the items are of great value, but they also sell completely useless things, which rarely interest eager shopaholics. In this amazing contrast and variety lies the whole appeal of the market, which is so much liked by both residents of the Georgian capital and visiting guests. Every tourist in Tbilisi, if he wants to experience the flavor of Georgia, must visit the Dry Bridge. Only here you'll feel how much people have borrowed from their eastern and western neighbors to create their own distinctive culture. When you walk along the Dry Bridge and hold in your hands material works of bygone eras, you have all sorts of thoughts. There are things from the empires of the Persians, Turks, Romans, Parthians, Russians and Soviets. The empires are gone, but the free Georgian culture that absorbed all the best has remained and is thriving. I advise you to take a closer look at the works of Georgian potters. They have learned to make clay pans, and if you cook in them, the food acquires a taste and flavor of a completely different kind than that to which city dwellers are accustomed. Food becomes steamy, soft-tasting, and even chewing it seems to lose its necessity. It is a different taste of ordinary food. I think everyone has heard the legend of the Georgian artist Pirosmani, who for the love of a woman who did not reciprocate, sold all of his estate and bought the flowers of all of Tbilisi. Even after receiving a gift of 1,000,000 flowers, the heart of a beautiful woman did not react, and the artist did not receive reciprocity, and the story became a legend, inspiring poets with the beauty of non-mutual, sacrificial love. Here you will find works by Pirosmani himself, as well as artists who surpassed him. Thank you for watching, subscribe to the channel and like it. I'm working for you.